Alright, so this video is based on Adam 7 or Adam Y. His reply here, and I've followed to the best of my ability his directions. There are a few pronouns in it that I'm trying to work through, but he's done a pretty good job of pointing out what to do. I'm a little bit, the banks folder, the presets folder. I know what the presets folder is, and where I've put those presets folder. I have loaded the VST into the VST plugin folder. Now, as the instructions, this here baffles me. All you have to do is once you figure out where the banks folder is, you start adding the additional presets folders into the original banks folder. Well, I don't know what the banks folder is, but okay. Now, going with what Adam Y said and what who is it? Maury had said earlier. Press the Synth1 opt button. I'm like, opt button, opt button. Where is the opt button? So what I did is I went back over here, and lo and behold, there is an opt button in the bottom right hand corner. So I pressed that, and that brings up this here. And I'm noticing that all of these directories are invalid, or the programs that are invalid, 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 invalid. And each of them appear to be, the different VST. Are these the different? Yeah, here sound bank 00. So yeah, these appear to be all of the different sound banks that came with the VST. So they're not empty, but they're all invalid. So what I did was, I'm like, okay, well, I don't have an options button up here as is shown in Adam's post, but what I thought is, well, okay, what I could do is now I could tell this folder's path thing that it needs to change this the target. So what I did is I selected change folder path, and let me see here. Then from there, this might take a while. Bear with me. All right, I went to computer. All right, C drive, and I went to, let me see here. There we go. Yeah, I wish I could play some lounge music or something for you to listen to while I was doing this, but let's see here. That would ruin my concentration, and it takes a lot for me to concentrate. Anyway, so all right, so I put it in the VST plugins. And then there's Synth1 right there. Okay, so I go to Synth1, and then there's the different folders in Synth1 from images and settings, and oh, here we go to the sound banks. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm essentially going to, reassign this to the active sound banks folder, correct? I guess. So I'm going to select that, and then hit OK. All right, so now it's reassigned it, which I think is what I'm supposed to do. Okay, so I'm going to kill this. I'm going to go back to the VST itself here, and I'm going to go into the different, the settings or whatever. Okay, so now I go to presets, and here the initial sound is certainly very, very available. It's available apparently like 425 times or whatever. Okay, so now I go into the load presets bank where I'm like, okay, well, this is where I'm going to see, the presets folder. I thought, oh, well, here it goes to VST, not VST plugin. So now what I got to do is I got to change that. Okay, so I go to program folders here, and let me see here, and then I go down a little bit farther. Excuse me, as I'm looking in the back of my iPhone as to where to go here with my cursor. Okay, so I keep on going down to. There's VST plugins. No, I don't want to rename it. I want to open it. There we go. All right, there's Synth1. Okay, and so then I open up, this first one here, and this is the result. No items match your search. And then down here, the only type of file that appears to be operating is a Cubase bank preset, FXP type file. Am I supposed to copy and paste the file? Let me go back up. Yeah. See here's Soundbank, 00. am I supposed to copy and paste that into down here and then open it? I mean, sorry if I sound a little inept, but I'm really delving into this, deeply for the first time in my life. And whereas I might have screwed around with a Korg MS-2000 and Roland, I think it was a JX30 or something like that, this is far above and beyond what I've ever done. So forgive me for sounding ignorant. Forgive me on relying on you guys for some help. But anyway, and so I can't get the sound banks to open, or the sound banks, and the only thing I can get is the initial sound. All right, hope this helps explain my problem. Thanks.